Was conducted while Smith's former boss, Ohio State head coach Urban Meyer, made a lengthy statement via his social media accounts.
Sports director Jared Smalley has Meyer's new comments, his first significant comments since he was placed on administrative leave by Ohio State.
That's correct. In those comments, Meyer made an admission in addressing questions from media about the 2015 incident with Zach Smith and his ex-wife. But he says he followed appropriate protocol when he learned of Smith's legal issues. Here's a significant amount of what Coach said in his statement. My heart is heavy today as I witness the toll that events of the last week have taken on the Buckeye family and the university community that I love so dearly. Over the past several days, I have been portrayed as being indifferent to domestic violence and as someone who did not take appropriate action when warranted. While over 3 decades of coaching, I have learned to ignore how others define me. I do feel it is necessary to share the truth with the Buckeye family. Here is the truth. While at the University of Florida and now at The Ohio State University, I have always followed proper reporting protocols and procedures when I have learned of an incident involving a student athlete, coach, or member of our staff by elevating the issues to the proper channels. And I did so regarding the Zach Smith incident in 2015. I take that responsibility very seriously, and any suggestion to the contrary is simply false. The power of what I say and how I say it, especially regarding sensitive and serious domestic issues, has never been more evident than now. My words, whether in a reply to a reporter's question or in addressing a personnel issue, must be clear, compassionate, and most of all, completely accurate. Unfortunately, at Big Ten Media Days on July 24th, I failed on many of these fronts. My intention was not to say anything inaccurate or misleading. However, I was not adequately prepared to discuss these sensitive personnel issues with the media, and I apologize for the way I handled those questions. Please know that the truth is the ultimate power, and I am confident that I took appropriate action as I stated above. I deeply regret if I have failed in my words. And he concludes, I ask that you continue to support the incredible coaches and student athletes in our program, and I look forward to rejoining them soon. That's an important point to take away. A couple takeaways from this. We heard no response again from Athletic Director Gene Smith or Ohio State tonight. Some answers will be needed here about whether the athletic department handled these accusations appropriately back in 2015. I also think the statement from Urban today indicates he's determined to stay as the head coach at Ohio State. I don't think this is a situation where Urban's going to say, I resign. He's either going to be fired from this position, in some way reprimanded, but he's not, in my view, after this statement today, resigning from this job.
Yeah, and the fact that he came forward with this statement just one day after the big panel, the new board was appointed, I think is very telling. I think he's publicly getting his side of the story out there.
I think if you listen to the way it was composed, it sounded as if an attorney had gone through and thought this thing out, and that's probably in his best interest because you're exactly right. He wants to make sure that committee has that information and that side of the story. The other thing that's important, it's not in his contract that if he lies to us in the media, that's not in his contract that he can't do that.
Yeah.
But he has to report these issues. Those are elements of his contract. So dishonesty with us, we don't like it, but that's not against something in his contract. It could be perhaps morality. It's not ethical. It's not what the university would want their coach to do. But on the other hand,
a fireable offense.
Not a fireable offense, some might say. So that's where we are at the moment.
All righty. Thanks, J-Rod.
Yep. Thanks, Jared. And Meyer's fate will be decided, at least in part, by these 6 people. This newly formed special board consists of OSU trustees Alex Fisher, Janet Porter, and Alex Shoemate, plus former Ohio House Speaker Joanne Davidson, former acting U.S. Deputy Attorney General Craig Morford, and former U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Ohio, Carter Stewart.
Now, the Urban Meyer investigation is the 3rd highly publicized scandal for Ohio State in the last couple of months. The other involved the alleged widespread sexual abuse by former wrestling team doctor Richard Strauss and alleged sexual abuse by a former diving club coach. Public relations expert Hinda Mitchell says the university is going to have to reassure its stakeholders, including the public, that it is committed to getting it right.
Ohio State is a beloved brand. I think the most valuable football brand in the country, I think, is what I read the other day. And will this take some time to recover from? Probably. Will they recover? Absolutely.
Mitchell says the university needs to get out and define its own crisis and be present, engaged, and responsive to its constituents who desperately want to know what is going on. NBC4 will continue to update this story for you with the investigation and everyone involved. Stay with NBC4 on air and NBC4i.com